Okay.
I didn't start it.
You didn't?
How do you start it?
You press live?
Oh, I don't like it.
Okay. Welcome everybody. We are going to start off laying on our backs. So beginning with your knees bent, allowing that triangular bone at the base of the spine to settle. If it's comfortable to extend the heels away from the crown of the head, you can do that. If that causes any discomfort in the lower back, just keep the knees bent, feet wide. Let the knees fall together. Can I see me in that one? Okay. Take a moment to check in with yourself before we get moving. Bring the awareness to the breath. And notice the quality of your breath today before your practice. Notice if the chest feels tight or open. If the breath is short or long. If the inhales or the exhales, did she not start it? Bear more weight. And then we'll take a moment to intentionally deepen the breath. Bring the awareness to the diaphragm. And as you inhale, feel it expand downward. As you exhale, feel it soften back and spread wide across the floor. Allow the next inhale to take the awareness past the diaphragm, all the way down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale, completely sink into the support of the ground beneath you. Have a few more deep, long breaths, just like that. Breathing your awareness back down into your body. Because with all this craziness, we can get anxious and the energy goes up and out into worry and anxiety about the future. So we're just breathing it back down and connecting to the stacking of the bones in the back body plane, where that universal blueprint for optimal alignment exists. The spine acts as an antenna that allows us to project and receive, connecting us to all things. And do a quick scan through the physical body, from the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. Inhale and pull the awareness up through the legs, into the pelvis, the hips, the low back. Notice any areas of tension, soreness, general discomfort. And as you inhale deeply, breathe into those areas, gently open and expand with the inhale. As you exhale completely, allow tension to leave the body with the breath. And observe how the legs fall open and rest against the floor. Today we are activating the third eye, our mind's eye, our inner vision. And one of the ways that we do this through the yoga practice is we practice managing, trusting, working with things that we cannot see with the physical eyes. The back body plane is one of these things. And the floor becomes our prop to observe any imbalances in how the legs fall open. If one hip is tighter and one foot rests towards the middle or the inner heel more, send a breath there. consciously asking it to soften, release, and let go. Next, inhale, pulls the awareness up the torso, into the shoulders, the neck, and the face. Once again, just noticing where in the upper body you're holding tension today. And use the breath to take the awareness there. As you inhale, create space. Invite fresh blood to flow into those areas. And as you exhale completely, continue the conversation of consciously asking the body to soften, release, and let go. Noticing if one shoulder is held up away from the ground more, if that hand rests on the pinky side, pinky edge of the arm more. And again, working with the awareness from the inside out to cultivate a balance. Inhale deeply into those areas and exhale completely, softening. So we'll be using our awareness of the central energetic channel that runs along the spine and the four corners of the body, the hips and shoulders, to find balance and centeredness from the inside out. Lastly, check in with the mind. Notice where your thoughts are at. Notice the speed, Buddha, at which they move through you. Allow yourself to step back from identifying as the thoughts and begin to witness their passing. Notice the habits and patterns in the way the mind turns. If you tend to obsess over one thing, or if the mind is jumping all over the place, take that big step back and cultivate the witness, allowing the thoughts to pass through the mind like clouds through the sky, without getting attached or carried away, without judging yourself for what you're thinking about, but just beginning to notice the habits and patterns in the way the mind turns. And bring the awareness back and anchor it fully on your breath. Have a few more deep, long breaths down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And exhale, softening, spreading wide across the floor. Observing how the back body rests against the floor. Becoming aware of, taking note of any imbalances, and using the breath from the inside out to create more centeredness and symmetry. And then with an inhale, you can reach your arms up and overhead. Give yourself a big stretch from fingertips to tippy toes. Exhale here. Inhale, draw the knees into the chest. And exhale, roll to the right side body. Press down with the palms to lift up. Oh my God, Vivian put some weird filter on my head. Thank you. Can I take it off? I don't know. Okay. Okay. Good. So find a comfortable seat. Look for that same alignment that we created laying on our backs. So we are building our connection to the earth from the ground up. You want to feel and find that you are pressing down evenly into both sits bones. If your pelvis is tilted backwards here, you might want to inner rotate the thighs to move the flesh of the buttocks out and see if that helps. If it's still tilted backwards, you've got to sit up on a block, a blanket, a bolster, any random stuff you have around the house. The pelvis has to be neutral, tailbone rooting down right between the sits bones so that we can inhale, lift, and lengthen through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. As you exhale, roll the shoulders together down, and the center of the shoulder blades hug into the spine to fully broaden and open the chest. Then notice what's happening in your neck, because most of us are usually here. Even when we roll the shoulders back, our heads are poking forward. We want to have the third eye center, which is between the brows and in the center of the head, stacked over the palate and over the heart. So we have to slide the jawbone back and lift the tips of the ears. When we find proper alignment, there's a lightness that comes into the body. The skeletal system supports us. The muscles and the organs do not have to work so hard. Good. And focusing on the third eye center today, the mind's eye, where we receive our dreams and intuitions, and where we create and project our hopes and worries and visualizations. So I am always looking for where we can find power and agency in our bodies, in our practice, in our lives. And right now, when we are, quarantined and stuck at home, when there's a lot of craziness going on in the world, we have to work with what we have access to and what we can, in fact, control. So basically, the whole physical asana yoga pose practice is a preparation for meditation. And we use the focal point of the breath in this practice to train the mind to be steady and stable so that we get to choose where we focus our awareness. And awareness grows things, grows it's like watering a plant. Where we choose to focus our awareness, our connection to those feelings, sensations, ideas, dreams, visions get stronger. And when we have no control over our awareness and we are at the whim of the media and the tides of our culture, things can become really scary. But in this quarantine, in this quiet, in this going inward, we have the opportunity to, with plenty of time, to plant some seeds and call some dreams into being, both for ourselves as individuals, but also holding a hope and a vision for our communities, our culture, our society, and the world as a whole, that we are going to recognize that the capitalist systems that we have created that are solely based on goods and consuming are not serving us, and that we need to reorganize and make adjustments and create a more humane system that allows us to fully be who and what we are, which are all like magical, creative beings with something really important to contribute and offer to the world. Yay. Okay, so we will do a chant today, and I put the chant up on the Zoom screen, and it's kind of like, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. But I hope that just having the lyrics, you will be able to follow along a little bit. The chant is the Gayatri mantra. In Sanskrit, it's the second most sacred sound after Om. And the translation is like earth, space, heavens. We meditate on the divine light of the radiant source. May it guide our thoughts and words and actions. Something along those lines. So we'll Om 3 times together, and then we will do this chant, call and response. We'll do it 2 times, line by line, call and response. I'll let you know when it's your turn. And then we'll do it 1 time all together. And sound is one of the tools that we use in this practice to clear out our energy channels and heal the body, particularly the areas of the heart and lungs. So even if you are unfamiliar with the chant or unfamiliar with the custom of chanting in general, I really encourage you, especially since you're like just by yourself or with your family, your closest friend, to try it and to just not think about sounding pretty, but think about clearing the energy channels in the body, particularly around the heart and lungs, for health and healing. So we'll start with the sound of Om 3 times together. We'll do the chant. I will, feel free to unmute yourself if you would like to have more togetherness in this moment. Inhale deeply to prepare for the sound of Om. So pausing to feel the vibration resonate through the body. And the third eye is about receptivity, about clearing out to receive guidance, remembering that we're never in it alone, even when we are isolated, because we are in collaboration with the energy of the universe. And chanting, especially these ancient mantras, taps us into a vibrational frequency that enlightened beings have been contributing to and connecting with for thousands of years. So always observing what comes to you, what guidance you receive from that. And then with an inhale, you can gently open your eyes. We will do a pranayama, nadi shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, to bring the balance to the sides of the body, the hemispheres of the brain, the darkness, the light, the individual, and the collective. All of the seemingly opposing forces within and around us that work together to create stability and balance. And I realized this whole time that I thought that this, like the screen was showing my right and left to you properly, and it's showing you the opposite. So I'm gonna try to do everything the opposite now. Right hand up by your face, you're folding the pointer and the middle fingers down. You'll be using the thumb to block the right nostril, the ring and the pinky finger, nope, the thumb to block the right nostril, the ring and the pinky finger to block the left nostril, alternately. First, just inhale deeply through the nose, lift and lengthen through the crown. Exhale, completely soften the shoulders down and focus on the third eye center. Block the right nostril with the thumb and inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. One more round on your own. Noticing if one side is more clogged than the other. Remembering that the left side is the moon side, the feminine, dark, creative, intuitive side. And the right side is the sun side, masculine, logical, analytical side. The next time you exhale on the left side, you can release the hands, return to the normal breath. Again, pausing to observe the effects of the pranayama on the energy in the body. And so there are 3 channels that run along the spine: the central channel, Sushumna, the left channel, the moon channel, Ida, the right channel, the sun channel, Pingala. And these 2 channels begin at the base of the spine, and they crisscross like a spiral double helix up the spine, creating the spin of the chakras. So at each energetic level, when they are in balance, they meet and pierce through a grati, an energetic knot, opening up the central channel that Eventually, all the channels meet at the third eye, and when that energy is in balance, they together explode through the crown of the head, connecting you to the universe, to all things, to all information, past, present, and future. And this is why the yogis were said to have superpowers, but it's actually within all of us. So much talking, I'm gonna shut up. You can inhale, open your eyes, and come onto your hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide, ground the knees under the hips. As you inhale, drop the abdomen down, arch the back gaze up. As you exhale, press down and curl the spine to the ceiling. Continue at your own pace. Sync the motions of the body with the breath. Use the breath to deepen the motions of the body and allow that synchronicity to bring you fully and completely into the present moment. And then move in any way that feels good to you within the confines of the shapes, always allowing your practice to be full of curiosity, to be an exploration that connects the mind and body and allows the mind to receive the wisdom of the body. I cannot emphasize this enough, that since there's not a physical teacher in the room present with you to look at your body, you have to be listening to the signals, pain, pleasure, sensation, and always working to create more ease and space and freedom. When you are ready, you can tuck your toes, lift your hips high, and press back, downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal the feet, sway the hips, move in any way that feels good to you here. Get your wiggles out. And then find a moment of stillness and connect with the shape and the alignment from the ground up. Make sure your hands and feet are evenly grounded. Outer edge of the feet, parallel with outer edge of the mat. Learning to feel the effects of the adjustments. Turning the feet that way will rotate the thigh bone into the hip socket. If your hips are tight and your low back is rounded, take a slight bend in the knees, wide over the ankles, and then everybody inhale and lift the hips high. Lift the abdomen towards the spine. And as you exhale, press the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Feeling how that action lengthens the lower back, creates the shape of the lower back through the alignment of the pelvis. Let your head hang heavy and have 3 more deep, long breaths. And then with an inhale, float forward into plank pose. The hips at the height of the shoulders, and then root the tailbone down towards the heels. There's a lift from the underside of the pose. The abdomen lifts towards the spine, and the back of the ribs lift to meet the shoulder blades. Roll the shoulders down the back and extend the crown forward. And scan your body. Anywhere that feels sagging or constricted, that's a sign that you need to make an adjustment. With your next exhale, lower the knees, chest and chin to the floor. Press the tops of the feet down. And inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back. Everything that's pressing down into the ground allows you to lift and lengthen through the heart and crown. Shoulders draw together down and into the back body. And then feel what's happening in the neck. We don't want to crunch into one part of our neck. If that's the case, drop the chin a little bit. We're looking for a uniform curve in the spine that keeps the third eye, the palate, and the heart in alignment. With an exhale, seat to heels, press back, child's pose. Big toes together, knees a little bit wide, allowing the weight of the hips to settle energetically towards the heels. And from that grounding of the lower body, opposite powers, we walk the fingertips forward to lengthen the spine. Exhale here. Take your hands as wide as your shoulders. We're working the alignment of the shoulders here. Press into your palms to bring energy into the arms and lift them up away from the floor. Keep that engagement in the hands and arms as you energetically pull from the fingertips to the center of the back of the heart, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. Keep that engagement in the arms and shoulders as you soften the center of the shoulder blades down towards the heart, down towards the floor. 3 breaths. Remembering this alignment for your downward facing dog. With an inhale, rise, hands and knees, arch the back, gaze up. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips high, press it back. Downward facing dog. So the hands as wide as the shoulders, the feet as wide as the hips. Outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. If the low back is rounded, bend the knees slightly. And then everybody lift and spread the fingers and toes. Lift the abdomen and the hips high. Feel how that spreading of the fingers and toes begins to draw the energy in and up from the floor to the core. As you exhale, you can ground the fingers and toes, but keep that engagement. Thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. And then center of the shoulder blades, move up and back towards the thigh bones. So the shoulders don't collapse down towards the floor. That's not good for your joint. They go up and back to the thigh bones. Let the head hang heavy and have 3 more deep, long breaths. Scanning your body from the ground up. Feeling free to play around and make adjustments. If there are places that feel constricted, we need to learn to notice the difference between like stretching pain, which is good, and misalignment, like sharp bone pain, which is not what we're looking for. With an inhale, you can begin to tippy-toe the feet forward, to meet the hands. Coming into a standing forward bend at the front of the mat. You can feel free to bend your knees here. Bring your abdomen towards your thighs. Let your head hang heavy. Shake the head out, yes and no. You can grab opposite elbows and sway. Move in any way that feels good to you to release the tension from the back, the shoulders, and the neck. Let it drain out through the crown of the head. Making space on the inside, letting go of what you think you know, so you can receive new energy, ideas, possibilities. With an inhale, return to center, and exhale, release the arms down. Next inhale, begin to roll up. Pelvis spins around the femur bones. Vertebrae stack. Head and shoulders are the last things to rise. Good. Taking a moment to check in with your alignment. So all of this work of aligning the physical body is so that we can connect energetically to the universe and channel that energy through us to direct it with intention to create reality, right? Every misalignment is a place where we're losing energy. Outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Sticking the thigh bones back, the booty out a little bit, takes the thigh bones back. We want to bring the center of the hips over the knees and ankles. When the center of the hips is over the knees and ankles, we keep our thigh bones back. Draw the center of the buttocks into the midline to root the tailbone down. That starts to lift the pelvic triangle, the frontal hip bones, cinching the hip bones and the ribs together, low ribs together to engage the core. Turn the palms to face forward and feel how that rolls the shoulders back. So that rotation of the arms is important in all of our poses to roll the shoulders back. When the shoulders roll back, notice if your head is still sticking out in front of you, right? A lot of us are going to be here. We then need to slide the jawbone back and lift the tips of the ears, stacking the third eye center, the palate, the heart, the hips. Beautiful work. Sun salutation. With an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back to plank pose. Find that lift from the underside of the pose. And that same alignment that we just created in Tadasana, mountain pose. One line of energy through the body. If you need to lower the knees to support yourself, we want to keep this one line of energy through the body as we shift the gaze and the weight forward and bend the elbows just towards 90 degrees. So maybe you can't quite do 90 degrees yet, and that's okay, but feel all that strength that you're building. Press down with the feet and inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back. The biceps turn forward. The center of the shoulder blades hug into the back body. And notice if you're crunching your neck, right? Exhale, lift the hips. Press back. Downward facing dog. Return to your breath. So the element of the sixth chakra is light. And the metaphor is that everybody is a star. We inhale, we pull the energy in and up from the floor to the core. We go inward and do that personal work so that we can exhale and shine out through the four corners of the hands, the feet, the crown of the head, so that we can contribute our best selves to the world. With an inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Get length through the spine and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. Check back in with your alignment from the ground up. Anything that feels like compressed is going to be a sign that that is where you need to make an adjustment. Find your center and inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Maybe you want to arch back here. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back to plank. Find that lift from the underside of the pose. Maintain that one line of energy as you exhale and lower. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back. Uniform curve in the neck. Exhale, lift the hips high. Downward facing dog. Return to the breath. Inhale, drawing in and up from the floor to the core to lift the hips high. Exhale, taking the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Feeling that lengthened space in the lower back. Draw the shoulders together and down the back, which is up, away from the ears here. Let the head hang heavy. Have one more deep, long breath. And then with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Get length through the spine. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Checking in from the ground up, scanning your body. And we're gonna play with doing this one with the eyes closed. Inhale, arms reach up. Root the tailbone down as you lift the sternum, gaze, lean back. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back to plank and lower. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Return to your breath. Have 5 deep, long breaths. Maybe you want to keep your eyes open and check in with your alignment on your mat. You're going to get lots of information here if you do it with the eyes closed. For me, my right hand is in front of my left, and I'm over to the right side. So returning to center. And then with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Get length through the spine. Exhale, fold deeply over the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Good, so taking the feet all the way together if they're not already. And with an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, and this time rise onto the balls of the feet. So hugging into the midline, not just the legs hugging together, but the buttocks and the low ribs hugging into the midline. Make sure your jawbone slides back so your head is stacked over the rest of your spine. And then soften the eyes back into the head. Then play with closing your eyes for 3 breaths. It's really hard. Again, gathering information if you fall. Good. You can come back to center and drop the seat, arms reach up, chair pose. Sticking the booty out again to get low. Drawing the center of the buttocks into the midline to root the tailbone down and lift the frontal hip bones. Then we're leaning back, trying to stack the palate, the third eye, the heart. Reach through the fingertips and soften the shoulders down the back. With your next exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Remembering to listen to and honor your body through your practice. And it's a balance between work and rest like everything else. With an inhale, lift your right leg high. Lift from the inner thigh in the center of the heel. Press that left thigh bone back so you're creating balance and evenness in the pelvis. And then with an inhale, play with lifting the left hand up. Maybe you just rise onto the fingertips. 3 breaths. Ground that palm and with an exhale, step through. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Maybe you just want to stay right here in Anjaneyasana. Maybe you want to bend the back knee for a quad stretch. Either way, we're going to stick our booty out a little bit and then root the tailbone down. Take the whole center of the buttocks forward, taking the heel with you if your knee is bent. And then inhale, lift the abdomen, the heart, the crown. And exhale, lean back gently. Good. With your next exhale, release the hands, the foot, tuck the back toes, hop your back foot in slightly so you can turn the heel in and ground it down. Looking to create that same balance and evenness in the pelvis. Energetically hug your legs together. Press your thigh bones back. Inhale, lift the abdomen. And exhale, fold more deeply. 3 breaths. Inhale, lift the gaze. And you're welcome to ground the left hand inside or take it outside the right foot. Bring the right hand onto your sacrum. Keeping that balance in the pelvis. Thigh bones back, abdomen lifts. Begin to twist to the right. Lift that right arm up. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders into the back body. Bring your chin in line with your sternum and slide your jawbone back. Maybe you want to shift your gaze up. 3 breaths. And then with an exhale, release. Ground your palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa, keeping one long line of energy through the body, or come to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high. Lift from the inner thigh in the center of the heel as you press that right thigh bone back. Finding the balance and evenness in the pelvis. Keep the abdomen drawn back to the spine and play with lifting the right arm up for 3 breaths. Maybe you just rest on the fingertips. Finding that balance, 4 corners of the body, length through the spine. With an exhale, release, step the left leg through. Lower the right knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Stay right here or bend the back knee. Either way, stick your booty out, root your tailbone down, take the center of the buttocks forward. Getting active and aligned through the hips so that we can inhale and lift the torso out of the pelvic bowl. Lean back, 3 breaths. And exhale, release. Tuck the back toes, straighten both legs. You'll probably have to hop your back foot in slightly. You're turning the heel down to ground it. And then looking at your hips, if you want, seeing what's going on there. What adjustments can you make to restore balance? Often that back thigh has to inner rotate to bring the right hip in line with the left. Press both thigh bones back to lengthen the lower back. And exhale, fold more deeply. Pressing into the hands to lift the shoulders away from the ears. So if we don't find balance in the hips, we can't really create it in the shoulders. Notice if you're dropping your chin or crunching your neck. Make space on all sides. And then inhale, lift the abdomen in the gaze. Keep the right hand grounded inside or outside the left foot. Bring the left hand onto the sacrum and feel what is happening. If the tailbone is tilted down, that means from the back of the knees, lift up. If it's dropping forward, that means lift your frontal hip bones. Keeping that stability in the pelvis. Inhale, lift the abdomen and turn to the left. Lift the left arm up. Gazing down towards the hand can help you find your balance. Then center your chin in line with the sternum. Slide the jawbone back as you roll the shoulders together and down and into the back body. And then maybe gaze up. Wow. Have one more big breath here. And exhale, release. Ground the palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa. Or come to down dog or child's pose. Wherever you find yourself working, anchor the awareness back on the breath. The breath acts as a focal point, so we can witness what arises, abides, and dissolves throughout the practice. We'll meet back in downward dog if you're not already there. And with an inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Inhale, drop the seat, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. Again, we're gonna take the feet all the way together. And I think I forgot to say last time, find a focal point to steady your gaze that is not a person moving, so not me, because I'm gonna be wobbling. And then with an inhale, reach the arms up and rise onto the balls of the feet. Hug into the midline. Stack the bones and joints. Soften the eyes back into the head. Close the eyes for 3 breaths. Good. Staying on the balls of the feet, you can keep the eyes closed or open them. Exhale, bend the knees. Chair pose on the toes. Root the tailbone down so you can lift the heart and crown. Soften the shoulders down the back and the low ribs down and into the back. With an exhale, ground the heels and fold. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Move through a vinyasa or come to down dog. There is no judgment in your choices. It's where you have agency. Good, with an inhale, lift the right leg high. And exhale, this time bend the knees, stack the hips, open up through the side body plane. Lift that right knee and the belly button towards the spine. Press the left thigh bone back. As the hips stack, try to create balance and evenness in the shoulders. Have one more breath. Inhale that right leg high. Exhale, step it through between the hands. Inhale, rise to warrior 1. Exhale, open to the side, warrior 2. Inhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat, step back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips, open up through the side body. Lift that left knee up and lift the abdomen up. Keep pressing that right thigh bone back to lengthen that side of the lower back. And then see what adjustments you can make to keep balance in the shoulders. Have one more big breath. And inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior 1. Exhale, open to the side, warrior 2. Inhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat, step back. Move through a vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog or child's pose. Wherever you're working, return the awareness to the breath. Cultivate that balance and evenness in the breath. That brings balance and evenness into the heart rate and the speed of the thoughts through the mind. Good. We'll meet back in down dog with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Get length through the spine. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, drop the seat, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet together. Find that focal point to steady your gaze. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Rise onto the balls of the feet. Stack the bones and joints. Slide the head back. The head is very heavy, so when the head is out of alignment, it's very difficult to balance. Soften your gaze. Close your eyes, 3 breaths. And with an exhale, start to bend the knees. And keep the heels lifted this time as you fold forward and straighten the legs. Arms come up behind you for like you're about to jump in swimming. And with an exhale, drop the heels, arms reach up. I meant inhale. Exhale, fold forward. There we go. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Come to downward facing dog or move through a vinyasa. Finding that balance of effort and ease. Inhale, the right leg high. Exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips. Open up through the side body plane here. Play with, keeping the abdomen lifted, lifting the left hand to maybe touch the right foot. I can't find it. Maybe not. Good. Step that foot through between the hands. And inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, open to the side, warrior two. Inhale, pull back, peaceful warrior, gazes up. Exhale, forward and down, elbow to knee or fingers to the floor. Arm over the ear, side angle. Inhale, pull up and back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, stretch forward and down, side angle. 3 more times on your own. Syncing the motions of the body with the breath. Shifting the gaze to look up. And then again to look up. Once you've done 3 more times, cartwheel the hands to the floor and step back. Move through a vinyasa. Or come to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips. Open up through the side body here. And then play with lifting your right hand off the ground. And maybe you can touch that left foot. And maybe we're not there yet. Good. Release. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, step it through between the hands. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, open to the side, warrior two. Inhale, pull back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, elbow to knee, arm over the ear. Inhale, pull back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, maybe your fingertips come to the floor behind your foot. 3 more times on your own. Feeling those energetic lines through the body. Feeling that the palate stays in line with the third eye and the heart. And once you've done 3 more times, cartwheel your hands to the mat, step back. Move through a vinyasa. Or come to downward facing dog. Or child's pose. Return to the breath and feel the heat generated in the body through the practice. Breathe it into those areas that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale, where can you soften? Not just in the body, but in the mind, in your vision, and how you think things are supposed to be. Can you make space for them to be better than you ever imagined? We'll meet back in downward facing dog. And with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, drop the seat, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall. Tadasana, mountain pose. Good. We'll do a balancing pose. We'll do tree pose. So you can shift your weight onto your left foot. And with an inhale, make sure the left foot's facing forward. Spread the toes wide and ground them down. Inhale, lift the right knee. Turn the foot out. You can kickstand the toe by the ankle. Press the leg into the foot into the shin, or come above the knee and press the foot and the thigh together. We don't want to press sideways into the knee joint, however. That standing thigh bone is back, and the lifted thigh bone roots down. So there's balance and evenness in the pelvis. Hands come to the heart. Everything comes into the midline of the body. And with an inhale, play with stretching the arms up You can keep the hands together or take them as wide as the shoulders. But we're gonna play with closing our eyes here again. So you have that focal point to steady your gaze. You soften your eyes back into your head, and then you close them, 5 breaths. Good, with an inhale, return everything to center. And exhale, release it down. Shake it out. And just notice how changing the littlest thing can make all the difference. Closing your eyes makes everything more difficult. It also forces you to hone in and refine more. And it gives you a lot of information. So shifting the weight onto the right foot, lift and spread the toes, stretch them out, ground them down. Inhale, lift the left knee. Turn out, you can kickstand at the ankle, press into the calf, or take the foot above the knee joint. Standing thigh bone back to stack the hip and ankle, stack the hip over the knee and ankle, there we go. Lifted thigh bone down. The hips are balanced and even. Hug the hands together at the heart. This balance of opposing forces, everything hugs into the midline, we root down to rise up. Take whatever variation in the arms you took last time, and then make sure your jawbone slides back. So the head stacks over the neck and the spine. Soften your gaze, close your eyes, 5 breaths. And then inhale everything back to center. And exhale, release. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Letting go of whatever happened there. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Move through a vinyasa or come to down dog. Whatever your body is suggesting would be productive for it. And then with an inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, step it through between the hands. Inhale, rise, warrior 1. Exhale, open to the side, warrior 2. Inhale, pull back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, this time straighten the front leg. We'll press the front thigh bone back, hug the buttock into the midline. As you stretch the side bodies long and come down into your triangle pose, you can always use the ankle or the calf for support. Top arm lifts up. Scan your body from the ground up. Where are things getting compressed? Often it's that front hip. We've got to press the thigh bone back and hug the buttock into the midline. When the hips are stacked in the side body plane, we can breathe length into both side bodies, press out through the palms to roll the shoulders back. Remember, gazing towards the floor helps you find your balance. Gazing straight ahead, chin in line with the sternum, slide the jawbone back, align the neck. Maybe you want to gaze up. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Good, and then that left hand comes onto the hip. Hop the back foot in. Scoot the fingertips out. Press down through that right big toe mound, out through both heels to rise. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Same thing, front thigh bone back, buttock into the midline of the body to stack the hips. Draw the abdomen back towards the spine and breathe lengthen space into both side bodies. Press through the palms and use your gaze to find your shape, maybe looking down for balance, straight ahead to align the head, or lifting the gaze up as a refinement. 3 breaths. Good, with an inhale, this is gonna get a little crazy. Rise up onto that right leg and swing the left leg around. Eagle wrapping the leg. The right arm is in, no, the left arm is in front and the right arm wraps around. You're in eagle pose. Upper arms parallel to the floor. Roll the shoulders down the back as you press the forearms away from the face. You can bring the thumb to the forehead. You can stay right here, or exhale and bring the elbows towards the knees. Whatever choice you make, you're hugging into the midline, looking to create balance in the hips, the shoulders, and the spine. Have 3 breaths. And with an inhale, rise. And exhale, unwind, release. Shake out that leg. Woo, that was a lot on that one leg. But now that we know where we're going, now that we have a vision in our mind, the next time it's gonna be easier to get there. With an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward dog. Keeping that length through the whole spine. Have a breath in down dog. Feel the different sensations and the different sides of the body. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, pull back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Thigh bone back. Widen the back hip back as you stretch forward and come down into your triangle pose. Scanning your body from the ground up, noticing any areas that feel collapsed and making your adjustments. Often that front thigh bone has to go back and the buttock has to go into the midline to lift the top hip up. When we have that balance in the hips, we breathe, balance into the side bodies and sides of the neck. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders back. Maybe you want to gaze down to find your balance. Maybe chin in line with the sternum to slide the jawbone back. Maybe you gaze up, 3 breaths. Right hand onto the hip, hop the back foot in, scoot the fingertips out, or maybe you slide that front foot back if space is limited. Pressing down through the left big toe mound and out through both heels as you rise. Standing thigh bone back, buttock into the midline. Don't let that foot slip away behind you. You want to be able to see your toes when you look back. Side bodies long. Press through the palms to roll the shoulders back. Notice if gazing down is what you need for your balance, if finding the alignment in the neck is where you're at, or if you can lift the gaze up. 3 breaths. And we're gonna get crazy again. As you inhale, you're rising onto the left leg, wrapping the right arm around the left. Right arm out in front, so you don't have to double wrap, but you can. The base leg is bent and the legs hug together. Left arm under the right. Lift the upper arms parallel to the earth. Press the forearms away as you roll the shoulders down. Thumb to the forehead to focus onto the third eye. Stay here or exhale and fold. 3 more deep, long breaths. Everything hugging into the midline, cultivating the balance despite the asymmetry of the shape. With an inhale, rise, and exhale, unwind. Shake it out. Good. And with an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward dog or child's pose. Wherever you are, take this minute to check back in. with the quality of the breath, the tension in the body, the speed of the thoughts through the mind. Good. And then we're gonna close out with some forward folds and a shoulder stand practice. So all of this stuff for calming the nervous system. You can rise, come to seated, extend the legs out in front of you. If, again, the pelvis is tilted back, grab a pillow, a blanket, a 12-pack, something to sit up on so you can get that length in the lower back. We're gonna bend the right leg and cross the right knee over the left knee. So you wanna try to stack the knees right on top of each other. And if this is accessible, then maybe you wanna bend that left foot back by the right hip. So you can do stacking with one knee bent or a double stack. Good. And then we have the right knee on top. So we're gonna bring the left arm around behind the back. And if you have like a scarf or a strap, you're welcome to use it for the hands. If the hands can reach each other, you're welcome to do that. But you can also just grab the left elbow with the right hand and hug the elbow towards the center. Press the head and the arms together so you're getting that lift and length through the neck and spine. And then if you're able to use the strap or interlace the fingers, the elbows are pulling in opposite directions to pull the center of the shoulder blades into the midline. And maybe you feel many things and you stay right here, being with the breath. Maybe you want to exhale and fold forward, hinging at the hips. Either way, you're keeping the head in line with the arms. You're not dropping it down. All right? And let's do 10 breaths on each side so we can move really slowly and ease into the shape. Keeping the sit bones grounded to lengthen through the crown. Drawing the elbows in opposite directions, pressing the head back towards the arm. Breathe into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, see what you can soften, release, and let go of. And then with an inhale, rise up. Good. If the bottom leg is bent, let's straighten it. Ground that left foot outside, nope, the right, ground the right foot outside the left knee. Right fingertips by your hips. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And exhale, take it outside that right knee for a twist. So both sits bones stay grounded. We're lifting through the spine, pressing the arm and the leg together to roll the shoulders back. With your chin in line with your sternum, slide your jawbone back, and then shift the gaze behind you. 5 breaths. And return to center. Switch sides. So taking the left knee over the right, trying to stack the knees right on top of each other. And this may be plenty, but if you're not really feeling much, you can then take that right heel outside the left hip. You want to have the feet grounded equidistant from the pelvis, and the more that you widen them out, the more it's going to deepen the hip stretch. And then since the left knee is on top, we're taking the right hand behind the head. Maybe you're just grabbing the right elbow with the left hand and pulling it towards the center, pressing the head and the hand together. If you took a different variation on the other side, take that same variation. If the hands are interlaced or you're using a strap, draw the elbows in opposite directions, up and down, to hug the shoulder blades together. Return your awareness to your breath, and maybe you want to stay right here. Maybe you want to fold forward, hinging at the hips, but keeping the head pressed back towards the arms, keeping that alignment in the neck, the third eye, the palate. Have 10 breaths. Using the breath to go into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And to exhale and soften more deeply. Good, with an inhale, slowly rise. Straighten that bottom leg if it's not already straight. Ground the left foot outside the right knee. The left fingertips round by the left hips, and inhale, lift the right arm up. Use that stretching of the arm to lengthen your spine and twist. The right elbow comes outside the left knee. Working from the foundation, before we really twist deeply, we have to lengthen the spine. Press the sits bones down and lift the crown. Exhale, deepen the twist, pressing the elbow and the leg together. Roll the shoulders together down and into the back. Chin in line with the sternum, slide the jawbone back, and then shift the gaze behind you. 5 breaths. And return to center. Straighten both legs. Root the tailbone down. Get that length through the spine that is required before you twist or fold forward. And if you have the length through the spine, then you can fold more deeply into the legs. 10 breaths here. And then with an inhale, rise, and we're keeping the arms by the ears as we roll the spine out and back. When the hands touch down, draw the abdomen in and up, scoop from the tailbone towards the heels, and inhale, lift the legs all the way up and overhead. When the feet touch the floor behind you, bring the hands to the back, preparing for a shoulder stand practice. If you have a neck injury, let's not do this. You can just put your legs up the wall. Press the back of the head and the shoulders firmly down. You can stay here in a plow pose or lift one leg and then the other, coming into shoulder stand. You're welcome to stay here in shoulder stand or to play with the eagle wrap variation, crossing the right knee over the left, bending both knees, bringing that flat part of your knee down towards the flat part of the forehead. If you find this pose, interlace the hands behind the back. Let's, since we're like so running out of time, have 5 breaths on one side, and then switch out the crossing of the legs and have 5 breaths on the other side. Otherwise, you're taking 10 breaths in plow or shoulder stand, or you're just going ahead and putting your legs up the wall, or coming into Shavasana if you've had enough of my bullshit today. Once you've had 5 breaths, bring the hands back onto the back. Keep pressing the back of the head and the shoulders down as you lift the legs. Unwind the crossing. Cross the left knee over the right. Bend both knees as you bend the knees in towards the forehead. If you find that soft, the sweet spot where the knee can rest on the forehead, great. If it doesn't feel good to you, don't do it. If you want to extend the arms out, switch out the crossing of the fingers. 5 deep, long breaths. And when you're ready, bring the hands onto the back, lift the legs, extend them up. Come back to plow pose, dropping the feet down behind the head. Slowly release the arms and roll the spine out. Engage the abdomen as you lower the feet towards the floor. And maybe you want to stay right here in Shavasana. Maybe you want to rise onto the forearms for a fish pose. I've been really enjoying this pose lately. So the forearms round, the thumbs are like right under the buttocks. Lift the sternum, gaze back, and then you're sliding back to the crown of the head touches the floor. Pressing down with the head and the arms to lift the sternum. 5 breaths. And then press down into the forearms to lift the head and lower into Shavasana. If there's any discomfort in the lower back, feel free to elevate your legs onto a chair or a pillow or put them up the wall or just bend the knees, feet as wide as the hips, and let them fall together. Return your awareness to the breath and allow it to be so deep and so long that it touches down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale completely, any residual tension, anxiety, criticalness leaves the body with the breath through the fingertips. We clear out our energy channels and we are open to receive guidance, inspiration, enlightenment.
Because I talked so much, I can't stay in Shavasana with y'all because Alex is coming to get Vivian in 3 minutes. But I really, really encourage you to take 7 to 10 to 15 minutes in Shavasana. They say it's the most important pose of the practice. When all of the new intentions, and alignment sink into and infuse each and every cell in your being so that you are transformed through this effort. Thank you all for being here. Love you so much. Bye.